Hello students, in the previous video we started a new chapter, work, energy and power, and we were discussing about work. Now I gave you two formula of work done, that it is equal to force into displacement, and another is force into displacement cos of theta. This formula is used when both force and displacement are in the same direction, and this one is used when force and displacement are at an angle with each other, where angle is equal to theta. Now one of the students messaged me and she said that you have not done trigonometry in maths yet. So I will suggest you keep this formula with you. Once you are done with the trigonometry in maths, it is very easy to understand. So at that time, it will be easier for to understand, and then we can discuss it again in the class. So for now, just note down this formula. We are not going to do any questions on this formula. We will use this one. I also told you that in a work done, in the condition of work done, both force and displacement are essential. If any one of them is 0, work done will be equal to 0 because of the multiplication. Now today in this video we are going to discuss a special case, work against gravity. I'll write this formula here. We are going to use it later on. First, we should understand why do we have to do work against gravity. Now in the chapter of gravitation we already studied that it is a force. It is a force applied by the earth or any massive body, any body with a mass. This force is always attractive in nature. So if we take the example of earth, it is always pulling us downward towards itself. Right now I am standing, the gravitation force of earth is pulling me downward. Why? Because of the mass. Because earth also has mass, I also have mass, I also have my own gravitation force, but because my mass is very negligible in front of the mass of earth, so we do not experience any gravitation force between ourselves, we experience gravitation force of earth. So this means that the earth is continuously applying a downward force on me. Now remember this point, if this is the box lying on earth, lying on the floor, then force of gravity is continuously applied on this box in the downward direction. So this is clear. Now if I have to do some work, what do I have to do? In which case will the work be done against the gravity? If I lift this box and put it here at some height, let us say that I lifted the box at some height h from here to here and put it here. So I have to do some work against the gravity because gravity is continuously pulling it down with a force, and I have to apply force to overcome this force of gravity, to go against this force of gravity and do some work to create this displacement. So here S becomes H. It is the same thing, as is displacement, height is also a displacement, height is a displacement in upward direction. Okay, so it is nothing but displacement only. So I have to apply some force which is against the force of gravity to do some to create some displacement and hence do some work. So force into height, in this particular case height is h. Now let us talk about force. How much force I have to apply? If I have to jump, how much force do I need to apply on myself so that I go against the gravity? I cover some distance against the gravity, I cover some height, go up to some height against the gravity. How much force do I have to apply? How much force do I have to apply on this box to keep it, to pull it up from the ground and then put it at some distance, some height? So I am pulling it up, pulling the box up, lifting the box up from the ground and putting it some height. How much force I have to apply? I have to apply the force equal to the weight of the box. To jump up against the gravity, I have to apply some force at least equal to the weight of my body. So that means the force here is equal to the weight of the body. And what is the weight of the body? We already studied in gravitation. The weight of the body is equal to mg, where m is the mass of the body and g is the acceleration due to gravity. The value of this we studied, it is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. Sometimes 10 meter per second square is also used because it is easier, we round off, it is easier for the calculation, but we are going to use this only if 9.8 is not given in the question. If the question does not bound us to use the acceleration due to gravity, the value of acceleration due to gravity, then you can take any one of them. It is your choice. But if the question specifies that g is equal to 9.8, then you have to take 9.8 only. So g here is acceleration due to gravity. G multiplied by the mass of the body becomes weight, which is equal to force, and height, then it becomes the work done. So our formula of work done against the gravity becomes mgh. Now let's do an example. Let us say that a 100 kg mass, a mass of 100 kg is lifted vertically by a height of 5 meter. So there is a object of mass 100 kg, not weight, mass 100 kg, and I am lifting it up to a vertical height of 5 meter. So what values I have? I have m and I have h. G is not given to me, so you can take anything, 9.8 or 10, and you have to find the work done. How much work done has to be done to do this? So this will be equal to mgh. So 100 into, let us take 10 and into 5, and it will be equal to 5000 joules or 5 kilojoules. Okay, so this is how it is applied. I hope this topic is clear. It is a interesting topic and it is used in many applications. In almost all the motions which are going upward in the surface or at an angle like a projectile, like this curve, that is also used, that we'll discuss in higher classes. Right now, read this properly, read from the textbook, and if you have any doubt, you can ask me.